Hi, buddy. So many good things to take out of tonight's game. So I'll just start with Herman. He was pitching terrific, no hit ball for 4 1/3. What in particular struck you about his performance tonight? It seems like we ask you this almost every start.
Yeah, I thought he had a really sharp breaking ball. The fastball command I thought was a little bit off early in the first couple innings. You saw some missed fastballs that he was trying to locate, and they were balls. But he got back into the count with the breaking ball, and then I think in the third inning he started reeling in the fastball a little bit into the strike zone in pretty good spots. But this stuff was good. I thought the breaking ball was solid, both the slider and the curve. And then the fastball command, I thought got better. Velocity was solid. Delivery was good. I mean, he was good, Patrick. I mean, he pitched very well. And that, those are, those games are a little bit difficult at times. When you have the big lead, you really got to keep your focus. But, we made a couple good plays behind.
Buddy, in his last 7 games, Herman has a 1.13 ERA. That to me is ace-like stuff. And I know that's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but is he heading toward that territory?
I think so. And you know me, Patrick, I'm a tough judge on that. First of all, you got to pass the test of time to get in that category. And I think he's heading towards that, based on his performances and what he's done statistically. You look at the, roughly 150 starting pitchers in the big leagues. Every team has, 5 starters, but every team doesn't have an ace per se. And there's some, guys, maybe 1 or 2 guys on a team that, could be considered aces, the teams with really good starting staffs. But I think you can start thinking about Herman in those terms. I think you're onto something. I don't want to anoint that yet, but just because I'm a tough judge, man. I'm very tough on that. But he's showing through performance what type of pitcher he is.
And one more for me. I'm sure a lot of the other folks are going to ask you about the offense tonight, but I wanted to ask you about the 6-4-3 non-double play single out that Trevor and B-Rod put together. The fans certainly appreciated it. You've seen a lot of baseball in your time, but I'm sure you did too.
Well, I did. I thought the reaction in the dugout I thought was awesome. I talked to Trev, an inning later when he sort of worked his way down to the bat rack and up to the stairs. That's an instinctual play. That's an instinctual play. That's what Trev commented on. He made the dive and knew it was a pretty quick runner, and he knew that him to get on his feet, come up and make a throw. Instinctively, he knew that, hey, he could flip the ball to Rogers, who was right there, who was in position to, make a good, strong throw. And that, that's, just the innate feel and awareness about you, where your teammate is, how the ball was hit, the runner, and what you can do to get an out. It was a pretty special play. And I told him, we're going to see that play for a while on highlight reels across the country. Every ballpark we go to, that play will be shown as a true highlight reel play.
Thanks, buddy.
We've been talking all year about getting offense, and really not just tonight, but since the All-Star break, a little bit more power at home and on the road. Guys are settling in offensively. I mean, do you see guys maybe reaching this potential of the offense, approaching a potential that you thought was there?
Well, ironically, in the pregame show with Jack Corrigan, we talked about that too, the power starting to show up. There's some power, in this lineup. It's maybe not true raw power, with the exception of, Crone, Hilliard, Mac has some raw power, Trevor to a certain extent. But, when you see what Elias Diaz has done the last couple months, both home and on the road, Connor Joe with some home runs, Sam since his return, some home runs, even Charlie today, an opposite field home run for Chuck. Trevor yesterday with 2. That's good to see. It really is, because you like to have balance, you like to have average, you like to have power, you like to have on base component, you like to have speed. And that's something we talked about this group. When they're all clicking, we have those components, but over 6 months it's tough to get them clicking all the time. But in this little segment of the season, the last few weeks, it's showing up. So the challenge is to try to do it consistently for a long haul. Now we got 50 plus games left to go. Let's see if we can finish off this season in a positive way offensively.